Good morning, KLGR viewers. KLGR Farm Director Scott Colomb with you on this Thursday, February 9th. Here's a look at your egg headlines and a market update. First in egg headlines, the U.S. Department of Agriculture released the February World Egg Supply and Demand Report yesterday. This month's 2022-23 U.S. corn outlook is for lower corn used for ethanol and larger ending stocks. Corn used for ethanol was reduced to 25 million bushels. The season average corn price received by producers was unchanged at $6.70 a bushel. Meanwhile, the soybean outlook projects lower soybean crush and higher ending stocks, with soybean crush forecasted at 2.23 billion bushels, down 15 million on last month's report. Meanwhile, they're expecting lower domestic soybean meal disappearance and higher soybean meal extraction rates. The season average soybean price for the 2022-23 marketing year is forecasted at $14.30 a bushel, up a dime on the month. Meanwhile, the supply and demand outlook for wheat is largely unchanged, with minor revisions to domestic use and ending stocks, with the season average farm price forecasted down a dime to $9 even, based on prices received to date and expectations for cash prices for the remainder of the marketing year. A new report from the USDA's Economic Research Service is suggesting that ethanol demand may decline with the rise in electric vehicles. The Global Demand for Fuel Ethanol through 2030 report suggests that global gasoline demand is expected to stagnate over the next decade, leaving changes to blend rates as the main determinant for future changes in fuel ethanol demand. After seeing strong growth for several years, the U.S. ethanol-based demand for corn has plateaued over the last decade, according to ERS, at around 5 billion bushels, or roughly 40% of the U.S. corn production. Recently, demand for transportation fuels was reduced by the COVID-19 pandemic, and those markets have largely recovered. Moving forward, increasing adoption of hybrid or electric vehicles and continued fuel efficiency gains will decrease domestic gas consumption, which could decrease the domestic fuel ethanol demand. The impacts could result in additional unutilized U.S. ethanol production capacity. The full 114-page report is available at ers.usda.gov. And the updated 2023 calendar year runoff forecast for the Missouri River Basin above Sioux City, Iowa, continues to be below average. Last month's runoff in the Missouri River Basin above Sioux City was 1.1 million acre-feet. That's 134% of the average. Runoff was above average due to warmer than normal temps in the upper basin, resulting in some snow-melt runoff. Precip in January was below normal for most of the upper basin except for southern South Dakota, which saw above normal precip. The 2023 calendar year runoff forecast above Sioux City is expected to be 21.1 million acre-feet. That's 82% of the average. The runoff forecast is based on current soil moisture conditions, plains snowpack, mountain snowpack, and long-term precip and temperature outlooks. At the start of the runoff season, which typically begins March 1st, the total volume of water stored in the Missouri River mainstream reservoir system is expected to be around 46 million acre-feet. That's 10.1 million below the top carryover multi-use zone. That's a look at egg headlines. Here's a check of markets on this Thursday morning. March corn down a quarter at $6.78 and a quarter. December down a penny at $5.94 and a half. March soybeans are down a half at $15.19 and a quarter. November down 5 3/4 at $13.64 and a half. Chicago, March wheat down 1 1/4 at $7.63 and a half. July's down a penny at $7.78 and 3/4. Minneapolis, March spring wheat down 6 at $9.20 and a quarter, while July's down 5 1/2 at $9.06 and 3/4. Kansas, March red wheat down 9 1/2 at $8.86 and a half. July's down 8 1/4 at $8.61 and 3/4. March oats down a quarter at $3.86 and a quarter, while July's up 3/4 at $3.79 and a half. March soybean meal up $2.20 at $484.10. December down $1.10 at $410 even. March soybean oil down 24 cents at $60.34. December's down 39 cents at 58 3/4. Taking a look at the livestock markets on this Thursday, February live cattle unchanged at $160.80. June's down 12 1/2 cents at $159.65. April lean hogs down a nickel at $84, 2 1/2 cents. June down 7 1/2 cents at $101.92 1/2 cents. March feeder cattle are down 65 cents at $185.80. May down a dime at $194.32.5. February pork cutouts, they're down 35 cents at $81.45. May up 37.5 cents at $99.85. And on the Class 3 milk futures, February's up 14 cents at $17.95. April up 11 cents at $18.12 per hundredweight. That's a look at a market update and egg headlines this morning here on KLGR. Farm News Online at myklgr.com. I'm Farm Director Scott Colomb saying thanks for watching.